We're now going to look at methods that require a parameter to be passed to it. Okay, so in a previous task we created this method for getting a user-friendly confirmation where we needed a boolean value such as true or false, but we wanted our user to be able to type things like OK, true or yes. Now an extension that might be, we might want to prompt the user to do it with a message. And it'd be handy if we could put all that into just one method that we could call that takes a prompt and then gives us a boolean value. Okay. Now we could simply modify this user confirmation method so that it takes a parameter, but then we won't be able to use it on its own. So what we'll do is we'll start a new method because again we're calling it from the static main class. Our method here is going to need to be static. Just like before, it's going to return a boolean value. Obviously we can return other types, but we're interested in a boolean value. And this time it's going to be user confirmation with prompt. And when we use this method, we want to be able to provide the prompt to the user. Now that prompt is going to be a string, so we'll declare that we're passing a string, and I'll name that string prompt. So when we call this method, we'll have to provide a string in order to be able to use it. Just like before, we have our braces, and then our logic will go in here. Okay. Now, in order to prompt the user, we essentially need to print out a message, and that's as simple as writing prompt. And then what we really want to do is use the logic that's here. Now, a poor implementation might just copy all this code, but actually there's nothing stopping us using this method. And that method actually returns a boolean value. So we could start off by saying something like boolean response equals user confirmation, and then we could return response. You'll notice we're getting a warning from the IDE here, and it's saying that response is actually redundant, and that's because we can simplify this slightly further. Rather than putting what's returned from this method into a boolean value and then returning it, we could just simply return the result of calling user confirmation. So we can simplify our code by doing this. And there we go. We've now got two methods, one user confirmation with prompt, and we've got user confirmation. To demonstrate how we can use it, we could do something like ask the user a method. So we could say boolean user would like a cup of tea, and we'll call the user confirmation with prompt method. We could say, would you like a cup of tea? Okay, and then we can do something with that. If user would like a cup of tea, I'll make you a tea. Else. Sorry, we don't have any other drinks to offer you. And we can verify that works by running it. We'll see we get our prompt for a cup of tea. If we type any of our positive messages like a Y, we'll get I'll make you a tea. Run it again, provide a negative response, and we get that result. So what's actually happening here is we are calling our user confirmation with prompt method. We're passing in this string here. That string becomes this prompt parameter. Okay. This method being called is now executed, so the code jumps to here, and we print out our prompt, and then we'll evaluate the user confirmation expression, which is down here. So we'll run the code we had before. This will return true or false. That then becomes true or false, which is then returned to here. User would like a cup of tea is now true or false value, and then we can use our logic that we've got here.